Good evening, YTPC smokers and pipe smokers everywhere. This evening, it is pretty cold outside. It's really winter, even though today is March the 1st and we have more light during the day, but this is middle to late evening right now. And I want to talk a little bit about some tobacco and something about Mardi Gras. I am smoking you can probably identify it right away as a Savinelli 320. And sure enough, this is a 320 XL. It's an extra large. It has very, very nice grain. A lot of these wispy grain, flame grain over here on the sides of the bowl and also around the stem. And then at the very bottom, some beautiful bird's eye. The bowl itself is large. It will store a lot of tobacco ready to smoke. And after I finish this video, I will be going outside, even though it's dark and cold, and smoke some tobacco. So, what kind of tobacco might I smoke this evening? I'm going to indulge myself with some of my favorite Latakia, which is Pirate Kake. Pirate Kake has a large amount of Latakia. It has a little bit of Orientals, Turkish Orientals, and also burley. I will pack this in that pipe and enjoy this. This is going to be very nice for a late winter evening. It's very robust, but it is very pleasant and smooth to smoke. The jar note I will say this, it is magnificent. Certainly one smells the smokiness of the Latakia. It reminds me of bacon, smoked bacon frying and broiling up in a frying pan. Of course, this doesn't smell or taste anything like bacon, but it does resemble it in those ways. This is just my impression of this. I'm not doing a review of this tobacco, but just giving a little bit of my impressions, kind of off the cuff, if you would. All right. The Latakia itself is in the form of a cake, and I don't know if you can see that with this light, but the darkness is the Latakia tobacco, and the lighter tannish, yellowish brown is no doubt the burley. So it's a crumble cake, and it crumbles very easily, of course, and it's really a delight to smoke. If you think you might want to try it, I think you will be pleasantly surprised how easy it smokes in the pipe, keeps lit, and also the nice balance of flavor. Now, it does have, of course, the intensity of the Latakia smoking taste, but it's a very pleasant smokiness. All right. Now, the main reason for making this video is because Mardi Gras is right around the corner. Today is the 1st of March, 2019, and in about 5 days, on March the 5th, will be Tuesday, Mardi Gras Day. New Orleans, which I spent a lot of time years ago, does celebrate this big time. They actually start celebrating on the 6th of January, which is called the 12th night from Christmas. And it goes all the way into to Mardi Gras Day, which is Tuesday this year. And it ends on Wednesday, which is called Ash Wednesday. All right, so talk a little bit about the Mardi Gras season itself. The city is filled with lots and lots of parades. There's over 100 parades that go through the city on different routes. The people, especially the family with their children, they know the schedule and they will park themselves on the curb with their blankets and their picnic baskets and food and drink and ladders. They'll bring the ladders for the children. And there's a good reason for that, because when the parade passes, some of the parades have as much as 40, 50, 60 individual floats. Each one of these floats, these are big floats, each one of these floats may have about 4, 5, or 6 revelers on the float. And what they do is they throw out trinkets in the form of beads, in form of doubloons. These doubloons are specially made for each parade, and it tells something about the theme of that parade. Now, let's see. The children get on top of the ladder, and they'll wait for the next float to pass by, and they'll say, "Throw me something, mister, throw me something, mister," and they'll wave their hands, try to get the reveler on the float's attention so that they would throw something to them. And the adults, they do the same thing. They don't climb on, they're holding the ladder below, but they'll be yelling too and say, "Throw me something, mister." That's sort of the fun part of the parade. There are night parades, and also there are day parades. For example, this weekend now, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday are some really major parades. Sunday afternoon, I think, not in the evening, but in the afternoon, is the Bacchus parade, the god of wine. And that's always a big, spectacular, very crowded parade on the parade route. So these parades go through different sections of town, from around Canal Street, going up some of the main streets away from it, on St. Charles, on Tchoupitoulas, on Magazine, on Camp Street, in through there, going up, heading a little bit towards the Garden District. If you go down to Mardi Gras, you probably are interested in seeing the French Quarter, the Vauquerie. On Mardi Gras, it's really crowded. A lot of people out there, a lot of people drinking, a lot of people in costume wearing masks, and a lot of people just in a t-shirt and blue jeans too. You see sights in there that you would not believe. I would recommend probably going into the quarter on another visit when you don't have Mardi Gras, because then you could appreciate a little bit more. It's still going to be crowded on a time when Mardi Gras isn't going on, but still it's probably a little less crowded, a little bit more fun because of that. What they do, especially in the quarter for Mardi Gras, since there's a big crowd, they change the setup of these really good little shack restaurants that have gumbos and oysters and stuff like that, and and they cater to the masses. So if you want to go in for a drink and sit down and talk and watch the parade go by, no way. What they have there is the big bar, kind of like a makeshift bar, and you go in there, you order a drink, they give you a drink, and then you go out and watch the people watching you watch the people. All right. So let's see here. I did make a couple notes here. All right. Want to just very briefly mention that New Orleans is influenced a lot by the French and also by the Spanish. And a lot of their cuisine is called Creole cuisine. You have gumbos, you have crawfish étouffée, you have all kind of shell seafood and fresh fish seafood, oysters on the half shell, oysters Rockefeller, many good eats. So there's that Creole influence by the French and the Spanish, but there's also another influence in south in the Bayou country of New Orleans, and that's called Cajun. Cajun cuisine. The Cajun people are down that way, and they have fantastic seafood. Wow. Now the Cajuns, where do they come from? They came from, and you're never going to guess, they came from Canada. They are originally Arcadians, and they came down and populated the bayous and the southern part of Louisiana, real close to the Gulf of Mexico. So, well, with that said, what I would like to do is take you on a real quick tour and show you a few things you might see if you go down to New Orleans during Mardi Gras. Some of the traditional things. So hope this doesn't get too dizzy for you, but I'm going to go here to the kitchen area, and excuse me for that. All right, okay, I think I got this. Yeah, easier than I thought. What I have here is a king cake. This is a Mardi Gras king cake. It is very famous. It's part of the culture during Mardi Gras. This is sort of a French pastry, French cake. It's oval like this, filled usually with maybe nothing more than cinnamon, or with some really nice cream cheese and praline pieces throughout. Usually has this white icing with different colored sprinkles. There's three colors here, purple, gold, and green. The purple, gold, and green signify different things. One is for power. I think the green is for power. The yellow is for faith, and the other one, I just don't remember right now. Sorry. Okay, so the king cake is traditionally used during the Mardi Gras period, where you'll find this in homes, or you'll find this at the office, where someone will start it out by bringing the cake in. Everyone will have a slice of the cake. And at one time there was a bean, a large bean, like a lima bean, or maybe I can't think of the other bean. And whoever got the bean would be king for the day and would have to bring in the next king cake. They, for one reason or another, changed the bean, and instead of a bean, they have a plastic baby. I'm not exactly sure why they have the baby in there, but they'll put the baby somewhere in the dough. And so when everyone's eating, they will see if they got the baby or not. Now, I did cut a piece here. I wasn't sure where the baby was, so I kept cutting and eating, cutting and eating. Yeah, you think I'm just kidding? Well, maybe I am. And I finally got to this piece where the baby was. So let me turn this over just slightly, and you could see in here the baby. It's kind of unusual, I'm sure, but that's where it is. So this is a little tradition of the Mardi Gras culture here in Louisiana. I spoke of the throws that we have off the parade routes on the floats, and that's what these are. These are beads, and let me grab a couple of these doubloons. I think I've showed these doubloons before. They're usually stamped with the theme of the floats of that particular parade, and they're thrown out. Now this stuff is thrown out by tremendous amount of items during the parade. Sometimes if you know someone on one of the floats, instead of them throwing just say one or two out in your direction, what they'll do is they'll take handfuls and just sling them at you. And of course everyone around you are going to try to get it too, but their aim is pretty good and you'll end up usually getting it. But let me just go quickly over here and show you a little bit more. See if I can angle this in the light and show you some of the trinkets, doubloons, and that type of stuff. There we go. All right, that's good. That's good. All right. These are some of the masks that you'll see people wear, something as fancy as this, and sometimes just as plain as this. Most of the people don't mask up or anything, but they will wear different costumes and stuff to get into it. It depends. Usually go down in groups of friends and to kind of look out for each other. Well, I do believe this is it, and I just want to say to you, thank you for watching. I hope this was somewhat informative. I enjoyed talking about New Orleans and the culture there that I remember from years ago. And I certainly recommend going down there and enjoying their cuisine. You have a big choice of it. And just to take some sightseeing tours there. They have Lake Pontchartrain on the northern end of the city. I have to laugh sometimes because I'm up here in Utah in the Wasatch Mountains, which is about 6,500 plus feet above sea level. These king cakes came from New Orleans, which is about 12 feet below sea level. So there you go. Quite a contrast. Anyway, thank you for watching, and we'll be in touch. Bye for now.